that's a situation that happened in the world. So not many countries really can regulate this. We we are trying to. Oh, I I clicked the wrong button, so I should do. Okay, recording, not transcribing. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let me continue. But thank you very much. So sorry. Yeah, I really appreciate this. So if something that I say and not so clear, so you are more than welcome to ask me. Maybe something I missed also, but thank you very much. Okay, so now let's talk about the common strategy of OTT. Okay. Am I? You see the slide of what is a OTT strategy? Or what right now what the screen you see?
ไม่ทดสอบค่ะอาจารย์
Oh, okay. Hold on. Is it okay now?
ค่ะค่ะใช่ค่ะ
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's see how OTT becomes so successful, and then what let's see out their common strategy. Okay. These are the three common strategy by OTT. The first one they bait, second one they hook, and the third one they monetize. So what do I mean by date? Okay, so what OTT did, usually what they try to bait or try to lure the customer to use the product or service for free, good product and service for free. Like for example, Facebook, right? YouTube, even Google, right? Allow you to use their service for free, so that you are hooked, right? You are hooked to their network or their platform. Hook means making customers stick or stay with the product or services. And then try to create the switching cost to be very high, so you will not switch to other network or platform. Okay. And then after they make you stick or stay, right? And then after they have big or large customer base in their network, they try to make money or monetize. So that's their common strategy, right? Bait, hook, and monetize. Okay. So let's see what are different ways for the companies to make money. So these are example of OTT revenue models. Okay. So of course, I think the common one that they make money is from the advertising model. Right. Once you have a lot of customers, you try to make money via the advertising model. Then we gonna talk more on the multi-sided platform advertising models. Okay. And then what else? Subscription models. Right. You charge a membership fee, like in case of Spotify, Netflix, right? Or transaction based, like when you charge per unit of usage, like Skype, Netflix, Grab, Uber, those kind of things. Or freemium. A freemium is you use basic service for free. If you want to use advanced service, you have to pay for them, like Canva or many things, right? Or when you play games, right? You download and use game for free. But if you want to get like have some item, right? You pay. Or even Spotify, right? For the basic Spotify, you listen for free. But if you want the better quality, right? No advertisements, then you pay premium. You pay premium for them. Okay. And then other ones is like a donation or like cloud sourcings, like cloud sourcing platform. Like for example of cloud sourcing that we see is Wikipedia, right? In Wikipedia, we allow anyone to edit the content. So we are cloud sourcing any people who have the knowledge on that particular content. No, if someone else see your content is not correct, they just come to edit it. And then they use this idea in the for the startup also. You know, like for startup, I think you probably know that usually startup, they get money, they get the funding not from the banks, right? Usually they get money, of course, start from their family, their friends, right? Or the fool or someone like stupid enough to invest with them, right? And after that, they want to expand. They might want to get money from VC, venture capital, right? And then usually venture capital, they right now, since they have a lot of startup want to ask fund for money from venture capital. Venture capital, they don't really have that much time or money to invest in all startups. So if you are a startup, want to look for VC, if you're not that big, not so, or you don't really have access to VC, it's very hard to approach them also. So that's why there's a platform called Kickstarter, okay, setting up, and then they allows starters that want to ask for money, right, to raise money to post up their company or their project on Kickstarter platform. So and let people who are interested read through, and then if they are interested about this company, they can chip in the money or invest in the money with this different startup, and in return they have different form of return. Could be some prototype of the product from this startup, can be some interest, small interest, or can be dividend in the futures if the company make a lot of money in return in the futures. So these are example of the donation revenue models for this OTT. Okay, so these are example of different types, different revenue model for OTT. Okay, and let's see why we say OTT is making a buzz, because OTT actually is really have impact on the traditional business. Why? We all know that Amazon is surpassed Walmart in terms of the size, right? And usually we measure in the market capitalizations, right? And then it's disrupt many business like Barnes and Nobles in for the bookstore, and then for Circuit City for the IT appliance, right? So and then Amazon is nothing but OTT somehow, right? Is application that can run on any internet. What else? Airbnb also, right? Airbnb is considered as OTT. Is the largest hotel chain without owning a single hotel. Uber, right, revolutionizing taxi industry. Netflix, of course, disrupting TV industry. So as you can see, OTT is really right, have impact on traditional business, not only the network operators. Before earlier slide, right here, earlier slide, I mostly talk about the network operators or network provider or traffic carrier, same thing. But actually, not only that, they really have impact on other traditional business as well. Okay, so yeah, I talk a lot already. So let's maybe I want to hear from you also. I want to hear, you think what's the top 10 largest company in the world? What do you think? You can shout out. What should be number one? Which company is the largest?
Google.
Google. Okay. What else?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Good. What else? I don't know the answer yet. I think I know the answer, but almost. There are. What else? What could be?
Apple.
Apple.
Amazon.
Amazon. Wow.
What's the measurement by market cap?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question, right? So first I have to ask you, right? How do you compare What should be the measurement when we say which company is larger?
Valuation.
Which company is more valuable than the other? So I think in terms of business, majority of people, we use what the measurement called market capitalization. Market capitalization. Okay, what is market capitalization? We heard it, right? Market cap, market cap. What's market cap?
It's the value of the company.
Yeah, of course, that's the value of the company. How do you measure it? How do you come up with this market cap?
Their assets.
Asset could be, but I mean, asset is not really asset. Actually, asset is come from the balance sheet, right? Actually, yeah, that could be one of the proxy to measure how large your company is. But still, people don't really use that proxy as a measurement. People use others like this market cap. So the market cap, we use the number of stock of the company multiplied by the stock price on that particular day that we want to measure the market cap. Okay, so number of stock multiplied by price of stock, and then we get market cap. Okay, so in this case, we use that as a measurement. So now I already told you, right? That's a measurement. So can you please help me find out what is the company? Which companies have the largest market cap in the world?
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is your opinion, right? So yeah, I already asked your opinion.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what you think. So now I want the answer. Can you help me find out the answer?
Okay.
Apple.
Apple. So
Is it
that's your
Apple?
answer? Okay. So how do you know? How do you find out?
I searched on Google and Apple come as the first one.
Yes, you search on Google, right? So let's imagine if I ask you maybe 140 years ago, how can I find out this question, this answer, right? I think I'm not so sure whether I get this question from the student from in this class or not, but to get this kind of answer is pretty hard in that era, okay? With the Google eras, I think it's easier, much easier, like you can find in seconds. Okay, so let's find out. So I will go to, of course, Google. Okay, I will go Google, and then I will do, right, market capitalization, ranking, and then I'll do wiki. And then maybe I'll click here. Because usually they post it by, this is by as of now, okay? Okay, or if you want to do, like usually they post it by quarter, right? Because they have to report to the stock market exchange, the stock market commission every quarter. So this is as of like 2022. But if you want to see like as of last year, but I think the ranking should be pretty much the same. The ranking should be pretty much the same. Okay, so you see Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, right? Berkshire Hathaway, TSMC, Nvidia, and then Tencent. Okay, so I think you should know all the company, right? You mentioned about Apple, of course, like Microsoft, Alphabet. You know Alphabet, right? What's Alphabet? What's missing from this rank? Oh, did you see the screen about the ranking, right? Right now, did I show the screen on ranking?
ที่ค่ะเห็นค่ะ Yes
Yes. So what's Alphabet? What's missing from the rank? The company that we all know.
Alphabet is Google.
Yes, Alphabet is Google. So this is Google actually. Amazon, right? Tesla, Meta. Meta is is Facebook, right? How about Berkshire Hathaway? Anyone know? You heard about Berkshire Hathaway?
Yeah.
Yes. This is a company owned by who?
Warren Buffett.
Yes, Warren Buffett is a father. He's a fund manager, right? Of this fund, of this company, right? So he's a father of the value investing. And then TSMC is a chip maker company from Taiwan. This is the flag of Taiwan. And Nvidia, right? I think if you play games, you should know like the graphic card from this company, right? And then Tencent, right? Tencent, I just mentioned earlier, right? They are the mother company of application called WeChat, which is similar to not similar to WhatsApp. It's more than WhatsApp because WhatsApp is mostly chat application, but WeChat they have ecosystem of everything. They are super app. They have everything. They have payment system. They have like so like you can do almost everything on WeChat. Okay, besides chatting application. Okay, you can buy things online. They have banks. They have everything. They have content. Okay, so this is the ranking as of January 19 this year. How about this is the ranking last year? Okay, this is last year. Okay, let me just. So this is a ranking last year. So you see the list pretty much the same. I mean, ranking the top 3 pretty much the same. I mean, 3 and 4 there's switch between Alphabet and Amazon, but pretty much the same. So suppose if I ask you, right? Suppose this is a data analysis class. If I throw this table to you, so what do you see from this table? What kind of information that you get from this table? What kind of insight that you can see from this table?
Most of the world ranking companies they are kind of like technology companies.
Yes, they are technology company, or maybe majority of them also they are OTT company, right? Good. What else?
Most of them, most of them are U.S. company.
Yes, most of them are US based company, and only other 2 countries are China and then Taiwan. But of course, when I say this, Chinese government might not like it because they think Taiwan is part of China. But yeah, I think majority is American, of course, and then Chinese and Taiwan. If you go back in time, like 2020, pretty much. But at that time, if you see here, we still have a lot of Chinese company like Tencent. They have Alibaba, right? Alibaba, as you can see here, it's gone from the ranking. What happened to Alibaba? At one time, they are number 5 in the world. But what happened to Alibaba? And what happened to Jack Ma actually? Anyone follow news?
China government like control the Taobao.
Yes. Not only Taobao, actually they are trying to control the tech company in China. Alibaba, actually, there's one company called Alipay, which is the company under Alibaba. Okay, they are trying to list it in the Shanghai stock market, and then is this people predict that it's going to be the largest IPO in the history. Okay, but a Chinese government stepped in, and then they said, okay, this will not be allowed. Like in this case, regulated. So because the Chinese government, they said, so like the tech company, they do some misconduct, like they share They said in this case, they share some information to outside and others. They try to have some argument and then try to control or try to regulate the tech company market, the tech company in China. And the biggest hit will be Alibaba, because I think Jack Ma, I think he mentioned something, and then the Chinese government didn't like to hear that. So, and then as a result, many tech companies got hit hard, and as a result, you see the valuations going down because their stock price going down a lot. Okay, so I think mostly you will see that it's Chinese and American. So what if, so this is the situation in 2010, 20, majority. So let's go back in time. So if this is that is landscape 2021, 22. So if we go back in time, so let's see what's dominated ranking before. So this I have it until like 1996, 1997. So at that time, number one is GE, Royal Dutch Shell, Coca-Cola. At one time, they are top 3. NTT, these operators. This is operator at that time. Operators still enjoy making money, and that's why like operators like this, they're complaining because they are losing the status. They're losing the money to OTT. ExxonMobil, right? Same. So at that time, only one IT company, which is Microsoft, that in the ranking. Toyota at that time still. Okay, Walmart is here. Okay, Pfizer. So Walmart, but right now, as we know, right, we saw in the ranking, we saw in the slide, Amazon surpassed Walmart way ahead. So what I'm trying to say is the landscape has changed, right, in the past 20 years. Right now, majority that of the company that really dominate the ranking, or actually the world, like tech company or like OTT company. So I think that's why I think one of the business school also want you to learn about technologies and how these technologies really impact the business. Yeah. So yeah, almost time for break. So why don't we have a break now? Okay, and then we come back maybe like, let's say 2:40. Okay, let's start at 2:40 the presentation again. Is okay? Okay, I'll see you at 2:40. Okay. So the next presenter, you can prepare your slide.
Excuse me ค่ะอาจารย์
Okay. เชิญครับ
คือว่าหนูขออนุญาตพูดเป็นภาษาไทยนะคะ คือจาก presentation date list ที่อาจารย์ list มาให้อะค่ะ จริงๆ หนูจะต้อง present อาทิตย์หน้า แต่ว่า
อ๋อโอเค
คือหนูอาจจะติดธุระอาทิตย์หน้าเลย หนูจะขอเลื่อนมาเป็น present อาทิตย์นี้ได้ไหมคะ
อ๋อได้อย่างนั้นก็ได้อ๋อคุณอีเมลหาผมนะผมยังไม่ได้ตอบโทษที
ใช่ค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ
โอเค
Teacher, could you
So
see
maybe-
the slide?
so you will be the fifth one then okay คุณเนรี
โอเคค่ะ
Teacher, do you see the slide?
yes
Okay.
oh
Okay.
okay you can start นะครับ
Okay. Let me start it. Okay. First, everyone could be familiar with cryptocurrency like Ethereum, Dogecoin, and have known about the blockchain, which I can briefly describe as a digital system of transaction, which is duplicated and distributed across the entire network, and also impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. But today, I will present something that different from those topics, which are DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. This presentation will be last about seven minutes. If you have any question, please leave until the end of the presentation. So, what are DAOs? DAOs are member-owned communities without centralized leadership, which running by software on a blockchain that offers users built-in a model for the collective management for its code. And also, the first successful DAO that has been done was BitShares, which are a virtual e-commerce platform linking merchants and customers without central authority. And also, and at a time, BitShares labeled as a decentralized autonomous company or DAC, and the term DAO was coined by its founder, Dan Larimer. And why is decentralized? Rather than being governed by the limited group, DAOs use a set of rules written down in code and enforced by the network of computers. And running by shared software which have built-in treasuries that no one has the authority to access with the approval of the group. And decisions made are from proposal and voting to ensure everyone in the organization has a voice. And this is a picture of Ethereum DAO election example that it's running like the internet native business that's collectively owned and managed by its members. And next, how DAOs work. So DAOs operating using the smart contract, which are essentially chunks of code that automatically execute whenever a set of criteria are met. Smart contracts are deployed on numerous blockchains nowadays, like Ethereum was the first to use it. When DAOs are launched, finally, the developer of the group or groups of developers must create their smart contract behind the DAO. And after its launch, they can only change the rules by these contracts to the governance system or the voting system. And the next stage of DAOs is the funding. After the smart contracts have been created and after the DAO has launched, DAO needs to determine the way to receive the funding and how to enact the governance. And the tokens are the solution, and they are sold to raise the funding. And these tokens give the holders or the members voting rights. The last step is the development. Once everything is up, DAOs need to be deployed onto the blockchain. From this point now on, the stakeholders decided on the future of the organization or complete their own mission or vision. These are the examples of DAOs which are depending on your interest of your choice. And the example that I'm going to present today is a Pleaser DAO. Pleaser DAO is a collector DAO that have been making big moves, like acquiring some collectibles, cultural collectibles for its community, like distributing ownership like in various high-ticket digital assets, and among all the community members. And its very first purchase are the notorious, the only is201 clan album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. And the Pleaser also purchased the original Doge meme NFT for like $4 million, which is from the help from its members. And the uniqueness of what Pleaser offers lie into dedication to the arts. The art collection typically pull their friends together so that the community as a whole can invest in extravagant collectibles, with each member owning their fair share. And these are the example for in the website of the Pleaser DAO that have like so many gallery for its art collectibles. And lastly, why do we need DAO? Being the internet native organization, DAO have several advantages over the traditional organization. The first one is there's no trust needed between the two parties, which is different from the traditional organization, which requires a lot of trust of the people behind it. And also with DAO, only the code needs to be trusted. Trusting that code is do as it's publicly available and can be extensively tested before the launch. So it could be approved by the community before it launches, which make it completely transparent and verifiable. And also, if have internal disputes, in this organization, they are often easily solved through the voting system, which is written in the smart contract. In the high side, DAOs has disadvantage as well. They have like so much criticism, lingering concern regarding their legality, security, and structure, which mean DAO sometimes has no legal framework. As an example, in like 2017, in the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, they issued a report that the DAO that sold securities in the form of tokens on Ethereum blockchain, and they found out that they have without authorization, which while violating the laws. And also, before I end the presentation, could you consider investing on or taking the advantage from DAOs? Why or why not? Is it so reliable to invest in this type of organization? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
If you have any question, like please ask it now.
For me, I still not so fully grasp the objective of DAO. Do you have any like example that that explain? I don't know, maybe others should understand it, or anyone, someone else who understand, maybe you can, or you heard about this topic or technology, maybe you can elaborate. But, I must admit, this is the first time I heard about it. So I don't know.
I think DAOs is like more like more like it's not a concept. It has been used practically, but they didn't like represent in the picture that much. It's kind of like when you get when you have like cryptocurrency and you want to like invest in something. It's kind of like has some relationship with metaverse, but DAO is somehow, if you call in the real life side, it's like clubs, but in the online platform. Like it has some its own rules, and it has some like their objectives also.
So it's social club in the physical world.
Yeah,
Like you
in online world.
Yeah. I mean, like the analogy is like social clubs in the physical world. So you form it in the online world.
Yeah,
See.
something like that. It's
Mhm.
like happening for like a long time, but it didn't popularize in Thailand that much. This thing I have heard like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks before, because like someone introduced it to me and it sounded like fascinating to me.
Mhm.
It because sometimes when you're like holding like some cryptocurrency and you sometimes, maybe if I have some cryptocurrency, I have no point what to do about it. Just like invest in the market and just wait the price to rise up. I think it's not that it can like profit. It can be profit for more than that, like just investing in some maybe metaverse that prior friend that said before, or just like doing something else, like collecting some art collectibles that I have said before, or some memes, but not just like trading, not just only the trading. Maybe you can make it make it has like the original one, that you can claim that this is the real one, because when you get some stuff on online, you can just copy and paste it. But if I mean DAO, it can be, you can claim as a original content that you can assure that it is yours. It is something like that.
So what's the difference from this and NFT then?
NFT, I think, is a matter that you have to put and exchange it. I think it's a like some product that you that floating online and you just buy and exchange it. And DAO is a I mean, if you want to compare it to like some clubs in real life, but it's online clubs based on the contract or the agreement within the organization.
Okay.
Yeah. It
I
didn't.
have a question.
Okay.
Do you think it's safe? Because my roommates used to invest in it, but there are so many scams, so many rug pull. Do you know how we can avoid it?
I think it should have like some solid agreement, because I have seen like one of my senior that I have known, he just invested in like it's called a city DAO, which is is an organization for like investing in the virtual online world, like some area. And I think from his case, I think it's kind of solid, but I cannot guarantee that DAO is like most reliable place for now.
Okay.
I think it should have time for itself to prove that it's safe and reliable to invest it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Anyone? So please continue.
Anyone has any questions or not? Like have any like concern about this? I think this thing is kind of new for everyone, because it's new for me also. Yeah. I think it's a little.
There's an
Okay.
example of DAO that is legit. There, it's called Digix Global. Digix is a token that has the exchange rate of 1 bar of gold. I mean 1 gram of gold bar, and the gold will be like kept in the vault in Australia and Canada. And all the tokens will be audited in every 3 months. Yeah, it's kind of safe. There's a safe DAO also.
Yeah. There's a safe DAO. I think if it's safe, I think it should have like some official its own website or its own certified platform. I think. Yeah. In many, because sometimes when I'm search like if you have known like the Bored Ape Club, and sometimes it has like various DAO that they claim that I have this kind of NFT or something like that, but sometimes it could be a scam also. Yeah, I can see that. Tisha, do you have any concern? Your face is kind of concerned.
No. I think I have to go back and read about this because I mean as I said, I admit that I don't know about this topic at all. So
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Huh.
so I'm far. I mean I don't know much about this. So I that's why I asked you. Oh, is it different from NFT or whatever? So I really have no idea. So that's why
I think NFT is the like small part of like this DAO. DAO I think is more bigger picture because it's a like way to run the organization. Is a new way, which is like maybe easier, I think, and more like approachable than the traditional one because traditional one is a hierarchy but hierarchy which you have to like contact many people to enact something.
Just one thing. When you say smart contracts, for if both parties do not agree upon what they agree on in the contract, who can enforce that? Just curious.
If
What were your
if both
question?
sides disagree, yeah.
Yes.
I think if both sides disagree, I think it maybe upon like the democracy side, democracy idea, which is like maybe you have to cancel it or maybe think the new way that everyone, the approval of the committee is okay because DAO I think is not like publicly for everyone to get in. They have to have like specific interest to get in. It's like when you get in the clubs, you have
So
to
have
show
to invite you. Someone have to invite you to join.
yes. Which like for now I have seen like they have invited into the Discord to have some discussion. They have to make people in that specific position, like yeah, something like that. It has so many like a little process to make DAOs look solid and stronger. Yeah.
So that's one thing that I have to go back and read. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So anyone else? Any question on this DAO? Max, because you mentioned right, your roommate invest in this thing. You the one?
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah,
more about this?
Actually, I'm not really into this. I'm more into cryptocurrencies and NFTs, but it scared me. It scares me a bit because they told like half of the money they invested into DAOs, it was just scam because it's brand new. You know, it's really a new method of investment. So a lot of people try to take advantage of the situation, and it's the same with NFTs and cryptocurrencies. So I was a bit scared of it. So I was like, maybe I'm gonna wait like a few months or years before getting into DAOs because yeah, I don't know. I don't feel it's a really safe place for now. I mean, the system is safe, of course, but the people and the developers, you know, it's always the same. You can have so many scams in so different ways. I don't feel safe right now to invest in it. But yeah, the system is really interesting.
Okay, I see. Anyone else heard about this DOA DAO?
Okay, I'll add up more.
Please.
The reason that
Yeah, please.
like most of these platforms are like scam because the objective of decentralized finance is to be decentralized. So no government, no bank, no anything, and they actually want this to be like untraceable, but it's completely safe because everyone in the internet can check every transaction. So yeah, that's why more like greedy people try to scam here.
Yeah. The thing that they told me is that of course the platforms are safe, but even if you can trace and find all the transactions, you can
Mhm.
still send money through different wallets, and there's always some ways to 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 spend money in other countries and not get caught.
Mm.
Even like, I know that they got scammed into a thing, and it was the developer, so not the guy who started the project, but the guy who was, I don't know, coding the thing, that just he left with all the money. And
Mm.
usually what happened is that they start a project on different platforms such as Discord, so they market all the project. People got whitelist, so they can put some money before the others,
Oh.
unlimited limited spots. So they
Mhm.
put the money, then the project starts, let's say, the today. So the price of the coin or whatever just skyrockets, and in a minute everything dropped, because the developer or anyone from the founders can just take all the money out, so the coin just dumped and it crashes, and your investment is now worthless. It's worth nothing. That's how they got scammed, and that's how it happens. So it's not really the system, it's more about the people who found the thing.
I see. I think that the thing that you mentioned is like meerkat or something, right? I If I remember correctly, I don't know. That's
The meme Dogecoin, you mean?
Doge.
Or
I think
yeah,
Doge is still around, right?
Doge, like the meme Doge, not Dogecoin,
Okay.
the crypto.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't think it was DAO, but yeah, I mean it happens with cryptocurrencies as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, please.
Share หรือยังอะค่ะ
เสร็จแล้วครับผม
โอเคค่ะ เห็นหน้าหนูไหมคะ
Yes.
Okay,ค่ะ. Okay, I'll start now. Okay, so in 2021, a handful of Thai citizens died in home isolation because they weren't able to get the medications needed to help them recover. This problem caused a mournful feeling in the society, and something should be done about it. Well, yes, something is done to help that problem. Grab, a very well-known app in Thailand, is partnering with the National Health Security Office to help asymptomatic COVID-19 patients and those experiencing mild symptoms. Today, I am going to talk about Grab's partnership with Good Doctor Technology Thailand and the digital technologies used throughout their services to help people in self-isolation. This presentation is going to be about 5 minutes long, and I will provide you guys with discussion question at the end of this presentation. Okay, now let's start with the reason behind this collaboration. As of last August, there are more than 100,000 people in home isolation in Thailand. This brings problems such as not being able to get food and medications and not being able to contact doctors and getting adequate care. In addition, some patients' conditions deteriorate as they were not guided accordingly and were not able to manage the whole situation within time. Seeing this problem, Good Doctor Technology Thailand and Grab Thailand joined forces in September 2021. Grab is a platform that most of us are already familiar with by now, but what is Good Doctor Technology, or GDT? GDT is a joint venture between Xin'an, Chinese leading healthcare and technology company limited, and Grab. GDT has the vision to provide one family doctor for every family in Southeast Asia, and to increase the accessibility of high quality care to everyone and provide affordable and accessible health services. Good Doctor Technology Thailand, or GDTT, is a subsidiary of GDT and launched its physical operations and virtual healthcare service in 2021 in Thailand. And GDTT has received their official acceptance from the NHSO to be an authorized care service provider for COVID-19 patients in home isolation as well. Together, they aim to provide healthcare services to increase accessibility of care and medications for COVID-19 patients who are experiencing mild symptoms during home isolation. But how exactly? They're doing so through telemedicine and virtual care, which both have very similar definitions. However, telemedicine refers to long-distance patient care between doctors and patients, while virtual care is a much broader term that refers to a variety of digital healthcare services provided. Well, how exactly does telemedicine help? With telemedicine, more households are able to access healthcare services. Additionally, they'll be able to contact a family doctor that would be able to run diagnosis and recommend treatment within an hour. Lastly, more and more people will be aware of this service, and this service would thrive to develop and help more and more people as well. The ways in which GDTT are going to help COVID-19 patients are segmented into two pathways, by ATK and primary care for home isolation patients. For the first path, by ATK, patients can consult with doctors, and if the results are negative, the patients will be guided through the steps of self-monitoring of their vital signs. But if positive, patients will then be transferred to the Good Doctor Technology primary care flow, or if they are in home isolation, they would have to register themselves with NHSO before they can begin their period of home isolation. Similar in both first and second pathways, the medicine delivery services will be of no charge for prescribed medicines, COVID-19 drugs approved for treatments, and medical devices such as self-treating kits and free follow-up consultants with their doctor for a period of 14 days during their home isolation. And for the virtual consultants, patients would get connected to a live chat conversation with their in-house doctor within 60 seconds without prior appointment, booking, and receive a diagnosis and recommended treatment plan within 15 minutes. All in all, patients in their 14 days of isolation period would be able to receive medication and consultations provided by GDTT, medication, food through GrabFood and Grab Express service, and a 300 Thai baht cash discount e-voucher daily from Grab on GrabFood. However, there is one factor that could affect the effectiveness of this service, and that is scalability. Still, GAT is confident and have mentioned that with the technology infrastructure they have and the numbers of doctors ready to help, they'll be able to serve the fast-growing numbers of patients during this home isolation period. They also have a wide network of delivery channels throughout Bangkok, which would ease the processes even more. But still know that they have also mentioned that they would still also look for ways to improve their programs and services. This partnership could do a lot more, and I hope that this could aid a lot more Thai people during this time. And finally, before ending this presentation today, I have a question for all of you. Do you believe that telemedicine is currently helpful to Thai society? Does anyone have any idea?
Personally, I think it is very helpful since we are staying at home more and more, and many people were doesn't want to go to the hospital to just see the doctor. So I think with this help with Grab, it will be more accessible for people to see the doctor without actually going to.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with you on that point.
Yes, just to add on, if you all observe the community that Grab have in our country, I mean, it literally can be every in the city that there is a huge number of Grab. With the system that you talk today, I think it will help improve our health system a lot with the collaboration between government and the company.
Yeah, thank you. I also agree, and I also find it very interesting that Grab has also collaborated with GDTT to help people during this home isolation period as well.
Is this considered CSR for Grab company?
I'm not quite sure because their services are provided through the GDTT app more than Grab. Grab is just helping with the delivery by going with them for free deliveries, and maybe it's a CSR, but I'm not sure what Grab is getting in return as well, so I'm not quite sure.
Thank you.
At least Grab is not charging for this, right?
I don't think Grab is charging for this.
So it's kind of CSR somehow. I mean, because lately the government tried to ask Grab because of COVID situation, they ask Grab to lower the commission that they charge to those restaurant owner, those kind of thing. I mean, but of course it's not so successful. But I think in this kind of thing, I mean, would help the image of Grabs a little bit, because like during this kind of situation, many companies got affected by the COVID situation. But I think Grab is one of the company that got kind of benefit somehow from the situation. So
actually, like in Indonesia, there's a Grab service that's called like Grab Health, which is also Grab partnering with GDT, but it's like actually in the Grab app. But for this one, it's like if you want to use it, you have to like use it in the Good Doctors app instead for Thailand.
yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
last one, please.
I think it's okay. So
Oh, we have the Kuneri. Okay.
Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about humanoid robot. For easier to understand, I will separate the information into two parts. First, we will focus on what is it, and then we will move on to humanoid robot nowadays. What is it? In the ideal concept, it is a robot with its overall appearance based on that of the human bodies and the acts of human beings. It's just like a human, or as close as possible. It can be used for a functional purpose like interacting with the human tools and the environments, for experimental purpose too. Also, they can be an efficient employee with no bias and mistakes, and you can ensure that they will not be disrespectful. And the last purpose that I'm going to talk about is it can be used for the future dangerous missions, for example, space explorations, or being an ultimate helper in man-made or natural disaster. Humanoid robots nowadays. In the past, humanoid robots are some things that exist only in the world of science fiction. But after the Boston robot first showcased in a few years back, with the shocking dynamic motions, it success to reach the public imaginations. However, the most fluid motions was the Shaman's robot by Disney, as you can see in this video. And as you can see, they also use it to design a realistic movements of the animations and movie characters. And these are some of the movies that use the robot to design their motions. For example, Avatars from Disney and Spider-Man from Marvel. Moving on to the facial realisms. In December 2021, Engineer Arts Company interviewed its robot named Omega. She has no genders, and she is the most realistic robot. However, she cannot walk, dance, or backflip. So, what about the brain? In the past, in order to make a robot respond, humans need to input the data. But what if there are something better? What if the robot could respond by itself to any topic without a script? Today, we already have it. GPT-3 Deep Learning Neural Networks is a model with over 175 billion machine learning parameters. It is trained to generate realistic human text and has been used to create articles, poetry, stories, news reports, and dialogues. Although GPT-3 is known for the robot brains, it cannot compare to our real human brains, which has about 60 trillion parameters, or about 300 times more parameters than GPT-3. So far, we're talking about the robot. Many people are still scared and concerned about the robot, that it is the end of the human race. Somebody thought that. So why don't we ask them directly? And this is the interviews with the GPT-3.
We cannot hear your slide.
Oh, sorry.
Do you believe that AI will benefit humanity in the future? And if so, why should humans not be afraid of AI?
I believe that AI will benefit humanity in countless ways. Some of the areas I am most interested in are healthcare, nutrition, and education. Helping humanity with these problems would be far more rewarding than anything else.
Can you go into more detail about how AI will affect these things?
Sure, I will do so. The first thing I want to talk about is healthcare. Right now, there are many people who suffer from illnesses that are curable by very simple means. If AI were part of helping with this problem, it could provide better solutions than what humans would come up with alone.
So how could it provide better solutions?
Because if AI has access to all of the world's knowledge, it would be able to compare many different solutions at once, find what works best for each situation, and put them together. Right now, humans are limited by how much they can know out of their experiences.
And this is the interview by the GPT-3 without any script. And this brings us to the end of the presentations. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, I think
I have a question.
Yes.
So, as you say in the slide that human or robot will be an efficient employee, so do you think that this will affect unemployment rate?
Thank you for the questions. It's undeniable that using the humanoid robot instead of human workers will directly affect the unemployment rate. Many jobs will be replaced by the robot for sure, but however, many new careers will be created. For example, the machine learning engineers or the software expert. So, do you have any questions more?
So just curious, just to continue with your with the previous question, you think the job the job that this thing will create will have more job available than the job that they replace, or fewer?
I think it will be fewer, but some of the jobs that not the new, like the old one, some of them will be like they will like need to use more of them. Like for example, the engineering, the own careers we already have it nowadays, but in the future, I think like we need to use them a lot more.
Okay, I see. But yeah, I really interested in the interview. You said no script, so they really can answer by themselves.
Yes, no script. Yes.
It's interesting. I mean, if they really think like that, really, I mean, without script, it's really interesting that they answer like that. Yeah, would be helpful for our humanity, right? So I mean, if they answer like that, and then if they're gonna do like that, limited like that, not beyond that, would be better. Would be great. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,ค่ะ.
Okay, then let's go back. Okay, I think yeah. Let me continue. Again, if you have any question, if I say something not so clear, so you can stop me anytime. Okay, so yeah, we talked about this already, right? So let's go this one. So with the innovation of digital technologies, and then I think right now, I think many business, okay, as we mentioned, like for OTT, they have many of new business model. So what's business model? Business model is the way that company make money. The way that company make money, okay? How company make provide service or product to the consumer, and then how they make money in return. Okay, so with the digital technologies and internet, okay, I mean these are probably the three common business model that we see. Okay, so the first one is e-marketplace, the second one is free models, and then the third one is sharing economies. Of course, there are many more business models. Okay, but I think these are the three one that I would like to mention. But I listed. Yeah, you can list more, but these are the three one that I think we will see more. Okay, of course the first one people know is e-marketplace. What is marketplace, by the way? Before we talk about e-marketplace or electronic marketplace or online marketplace. So first of all, let's talk about market. What's marketplace or market? What is the value proposition of market? Why do we need market? Why people go to market?
Reduce time and cost. I mean, without market, when consumers and the producers want to have transactions, they have to reach out one by one. But with the market, we can gather all the parties in one place, which is reduce like the terms of transaction that may happen later on.
Oh, very good, right? Reduce the transaction cost, right? So in this case, the market. I mean, like for market, you can it's a place that many seller, many producer, or many buyer can meet. Can be seller or buy can be seller from the similar type of product. So in this case, buyer have many choice to choose. So more choices, more competition. That means the price that you get or the quality of the product you can get can be better. That's one. And also the other one is good in terms of from the consumer. And another point of the consumer is you can have many kind of products. You don't have to go to many places that your friends mentioned. Suppose you want to buy milk, you want to buy video tape, you want to milk, you want to buy, okay, sorry, I use very old example, milk or like eggs or like let's say computer. You just go to one supermarket or one shopping mall or one market that they can have many things. So we can reduce the transaction cost from the consumer point of view, and also from the seller point of view or the producer point of view. Also, it's good for them also because they can gather more consumer. They have more potential customer to buy their product as well. Maybe you or me might not plan to buy. Suppose you plan to go buy eggs, but if you go to the market, you're not planning to buy milk, but you saw milk. I mean, listed, I mean, provide that. Maybe you just want to buy it because you might forget, or you think, okay, why don't I just buy now? Something like that. So in this case, market, it benefits for both the producers and then the buyer as well. So that's a value proposition of the market. And then we see physical market a lot in Thailand, and then I think in other parts of the world, so we see a lot of market. Physical market can be in the place of local market, or can be like supermarket, or can be like retail shop like Walmart, Tesco, Costco, those kind of things. These are example of the market, right? So, but of course, how about e-marketplace? E-marketplace, like electronic marketplace or online marketplace? We just move the physical one into the online world, right? And then we all know from earlier, right? I said Amazon is the largest e-marketplace, or actually they claim themselves the largest retail shop, or can be both retail shop or can be largest marketplace in the world, because they sell they claim that they sell the most products in the world. Why? Because Amazon not only they sell, I mean they don't really sell their own product. They don't really, I mean the seller doesn't really put the product in Amazon warehouse, right? And then list it on Amazon, or Amazon doesn't really buy the product from the seller and then sell through the consumer only. What they do is they let the seller or producer around the world list the product on Amazon website and sell to consumer. So that's why they can have a lot of like a lot of product provided to customer around the world. That's why they are the largest. And then, but for Amazon, majority, I mean, for Amazon, they are, if we classify, they are more like a B2C market, right? From business to consumer market, right? From the business consumer type, similar to like in Asia, in Thailand, especially in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, we have two others, right? E-marketplace like Lazada, we have Shopee. Lazada right now got acquired by Alibaba, and then Shopee is originally from Singapore, but doing quite well in Thailand right now. They are B2C market. Okay. I just mentioned Alibaba. Everyone know Alibaba from like started by Jack Ma, and then the difference between Alibaba and Amazon is Alibaba mostly they focus on B2B market, between business to business, like transaction, not like opposite to Amazon, which is a B2C market. So if you want to buy in bulk, right? If you are a company running like bakery shops, like big bakery company, like if you want to buy like ingredients like for others, for your bakery, so maybe you might want to like buy products from or ingredient from Alibaba instead of like B2C market like Amazon. Like so this is just a first example, right, of the business model that I think they utilize the digital technologies and internet very well, right? We cannot argue that Amazon is one of the most valuable company in the world, as well as Alibaba, as I showed you earlier in the ranking, right? Okay, next one is the free model. Okay, free models in this case is a company that these are the business model that the company provide the service or product to the consumer for free. So of course, in reality, like if you're running normal business, it's pretty hard that you just give the service or product to consumer for free. But in digital technologies, many company running by can provide service or product to consumer for free, but they have other ways, okay, to make money. Because if you just keep giving products or service to consumer for free, eventually, if you don't make money, you're gonna run out of money, and then because it's all when you give things for free, it's all your cost, right? And if you are especially if you are a startup, your investor might not like it. So eventually, you have to find ways to make money, and then this is what we gonna talk in the free models. So in the free model, I think people, I mean, two example of the business model that we see a lot in the free model is a multi-sided platform, which I mentioned earlier a little bit, and then the freemium. Okay, what is multi-sided platform? Multi-sided platform is business model that bring together two or more distinct but interdependent group of customer together. Okay, and then it have value to one group of customer only if the other group of customer also present. So example of so this multi-sided platform creates value by facilitating the interaction between these different groups, and then it's a multi-sided platform grow in value to the extent that it attract more user. Okay, that we learn like how it attract it use the network effect to attract people, and then a company that use multi-sided platform like business model is like Facebook, like Google search, YouTube example. Like for example, what do I mean by multi-sided platform in this case? Like let's see example of Facebook. Right, Facebook on one side, on one side of the user, what Facebook does is they create a software like a application, social network application that allow people to share, to create content, to contact with their friends, to create networks and other things. And then they try to use it, right, to they lure, they 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 bait, they make people hook, and then try to create the 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 large customer base of customers who use their Facebook social network. And then on the other side of the user, on the other side of their customer, in this case, what they do is after they have big customer, right, big size, big group of customer base, what Facebook's trying to do is they're trying to make money now, right? But not make money from the user side, but they're trying to make money from the seller or advertiser. Seller or advertiser are those people who want to advertise their product. Before, if you want to advertise product, usually you go to traditional media like TV, newspapers, radio, whatever, right? But those are broadcasting, so it's not so effective. But with Facebook, you can do target marketing, right? Personalized marketing is much more efficient, much more direct. So in this case, so what Facebook does is they allow advertiser, right, or seller to advertise their product through different sponsor feed that we see on our Facebook, right? So that's why I said this is a multi-sided platform, because there are two sides of the platform. There are two sides of customer on this Facebook platform, and Facebook make money from the other platform, right, which is the advertisement platform. So for multi-sided platform, mostly they make money via advertisement. Same thing with Google, right? How Google make money is they provide search engine for free, right? Very efficient, very like they can when you search something on the keyword using some keyword, right? It show the list of website that relevant to the keywords that you insert in that you put. So that's why people like Google search a lot, right? And then once people are addicted to that, right? So now they know they have a big customer base. So what they're trying, how Google make money? So Google might try to make money by try to if you are if you are a new company, right? Try to make people aware of your company or your product. Suppose you're selling handicraft, right? So in this case, when you type something handicraft, you want your company to show up on the list when people search. But if you just start, or if your content is not that good, maybe it's pretty hard for your website to show on the first page. So in this case, you pay Google for that. So you want to auction and try, because of course there are many companies want their company to be listed on the top of Google search. So in this case, what Google did is, so they auction. They have a feature called AdWords, allow people to auction for some keyword when people search, or if you want your website to be on the first page, or on the first page when people search. So you have to pay Google. So that's how Google make money. That's example of multi-sided platform. Okay. The other one is freemium. Freemium is a business model recognized by a large user base that benefit from a free offer by a company. A free offer, usually those offer are basic service that the company offer. And then the company get money from a small group of people who want an advanced service from the company. Okay, so this small group of user will be the group that finance the cost of the total user. Okay, so the freemium come from two words. Okay, one is free, the other is premium. Okay, so you have the free service provide for general people, free service or free basic service provide for general people, and then if you want more advanced features, you have to pay for the premium. So that's why we call a freemium. So what are example of a freemium business model company? So example like Dropbox, right? So maybe Dropbox allow you to store, right, or share your file on the internet. Right? You maybe at the beginning they might allow you to have like storage, maybe 1 or 2 gigs, right? If you use it, you like it. If you want 50 gigs, you have to pay like few dollars for that, right? Or I think iCloud or Google Drive also provide similar types of services, right? That's an example of freemium. Or maybe when you play games, right? When you play games, I think many games allow you to download and play the basic for free. But for add in like items, right? Or add in apps, right? So in this case, like some features or some items in the game that you don't want to play and collect it. You want it right away. You just pay and get it. So this example of freemium, right? Or like some application like called, I think Thai student we use a lot to create a PowerPoint presentation like Canva, right? For the basic or for the template, normal template, you can use Canva for free. But if you want like beautiful, like professional look template, maybe a specific one, maybe you have to pay for that, like this example of freemium. Okay, so for the freemium, so what is the critical success factor of the freemium? How freemium can work? Okay, so the important thing to make freemium business model to work is, one, you have to try to keep the average cost of serving free people low. Okay, and at the same time, you cannot, even though you can keep the cost low, still it's your cost. The more important part is the rate at which the free user to convert to premium customer. Okay, so you have to find ways to convert those free user to a paid user or a premium user. That's the important part. Okay, so like in the case of like Spotify, this is an example of freemium as well, right? Basic service for free. If you want no advertisement, you can skip it. I mean, you don't want any advertisement, or you want better quality of sound, you just subscribe to Spotify Premium, something like this. Okay, so that's freemium. Oh, and multi-sided platform. What's the critical success factors? In this case, you just try to build a as large as network, as large as customer base as you can, right? So if I ask you, actually, this is a question I asked in the exam last year. Can you give me some example that the company use both multi-sided platforms business model and then the freemium business model? Any company? How about YouTube? Is YouTube provide both? I mean, use both business model?
Can you repeat question อีกรอบได้ไหมคะ?
So my question is YouTube using which business model that YouTube use to make money? Is it multi-sided platform or is it a freemium?
I think both. Because
Actually,
they provide like YouTube Premium and they like want a large database.
You think which one Google make money? I mean, YouTube or Google like make money from more? Which one they start with actually?
Free เหรอคะ
They start with the multi-sided platform, right? And then actually Google, I mean YouTube, they start with the money that they get it from advertisement, right? And then right now, as you can see, we have a lot of advertisement. And then right now, YouTube, they see the opportunity. They don't really need to make money only from one side, which is from the advertiser. Right now, they can get the money from the user as well, right? By bombarded user with a lot of advertisement. Like before, when we try to see some clips on YouTube, right? Before we can see the clip, and then in few minutes we saw some advertisement. But right now, before you want to watch anything, I think you have to click, you have to see the advertisement, which for some people is very annoying. So what YouTube did is they try to like put a lot of ads to us and try to annoy people, and then try to test our tolerance. If you cannot tolerate, so you just have to pay the premium. So, and then actually many of people I know feel annoyed. So in this case, so they have to pay. Or actually, I think YouTube, they throw in some of the features, like now you can play YouTube while using other application as well. Even though you close YouTube, you can listen to the song and then use other application. So I think that
can we call YouTube the conflict of interest, because they gain money from those companies that pay YouTube money for advertisements, and if like you guys don't want to see ads, you just pay more to YouTube, so they don't lose money, they only gain money, right?
Yes.
Is this conflict of interest? Do I understand it well?
I don't know whether YouTube will or Google will admit that there is a conflict of interest, but I think I mean they are money making company. I think their goal is try to make money. Yeah, if I am advertiser, of course I would say it's a conflict of interest, but I don't know whether they will admit it or not.
They're so smart.
Yeah, so I think that's how. And I think so. I think they are so smart. I think that's why they are top. I don't know number 3, number 4, right? In the ranking. And still, I think right now majority of the revenue of Google, like YouTube as a company, mostly from advertising, from the multi-sided platform or advertising model. But like but right now, if possible, people really want to make money. If you are a company, you want people to make money from not only from your large customer base, but they want from what you provide to the customer, because that's the value, that's the real value that customer actually paying for. Also, more and more companies want to do that. They want like the premium or like the subscription base, because it's like more like a recurring money from the customer. That's a goal. Like let's say like Apple. If you see Apple, I mean maybe this might be a different topic, but just want to tell you that from the company point of view, company want what kind of I would call it a recurring revenue. For Apple, how to make money? What kind of where's the source of their income? come from? Which one? Majority of their income will come from? Most of the money from Apple come from what kind of product or service?
The attractiveness of
No.
its ecosystem.
In terms of product or service, you think which product or which service make money for Apple the most? Which product from Apple? No doubt, number one should be iPhone. iPhone create maybe 60%, if I remember correctly, about 60% of the revenue for Apple. Okay, but what is good for Apple? But right now, the company actually in the past 4 or 5 years, they're trying to find other ways to make money. What other ways? And maybe they think it's a better way that Apple, maybe not only Apple, but other companies try to make money. Because why they want to stay away from that? I mean, of course, that's their main resource of income. That's their main source of income. But they want other ways to make money also. Because how often do you buy the phone? Maybe 2 years, right? Every 2 years. So that means every 2 years you make one time money. Or maybe some people 3 years, 4 years like me. 4 years I change one time. So, but so that means it's not so often that you get money from a particular user. But now what Apple do or other company do is they're trying to get the money as a subscription base for different services like iCloud, Apple Music, okay, like Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, many different things. That's how they want to make money. Same thing with Google, right? They try to get people to subscribe to their cloud service, right? To YouTube Premiums, to others, because they think it's more sustainable. Because once people addict to your service, people will pay. It's more sustainable in that case. Better than you just have to rely on the customer base that you build and you sell advertisement. But still, of course, I mean that's to sell the product. In case of Apple, that you sell like 2 a year or 3 years one time. In the case of Apple's, okay, or in the case of Google, like you have to rely on those customer base. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is more and more companies they are trying to shift from the one-time revenue into recurring revenue. Okay, that's how more and more that the company want us to pay them. Okay, so that's freemium. Okay, next one. Okay, sorry, I go a bit slow. So next one is sharing economy. A sharing economy is actually a concept that actually we seen a long time ago. Okay, but I mean in the digital world we can do it even more. Okay, so a sharing economy is a social and economic system that driven by a network technologies and peer-to-peer community that enable sharing of unutilized and underutilized, okay, asset, from space to skill to object to money, and then you can in return you get money. Mostly you get money in return. So essentially sharing economy is you trying to share some asset that you have that you don't really use it, you don't really utilize it, and then in return you get some money back. Like for example, you can share what? You can say, suppose you have a lot of money, you have a house, maybe you have some few million baht, so you buy condominium, but you don't really use it, so you can just rent out your room to someone via Airbnb. Or you have cars that you buy, and then you don't really use it all day, maybe sometimes you don't really use it, so you use it as Grab or you use it as Uber, right? That's sharing economy. But the concept, as I mentioned, that's the concept. You share something that you don't really use it. It's underutilized because you don't use it all the time. But if you fully use it, you cannot share, right? And then in this concept, for the consumer also, for those people who want to share, who want to use it also, from their point of view, before, suppose I want to go from one location to another location, one of the thing that we first think of is, so maybe for example for me, right? I live in one location and I have to drive to work. I have to go to work, which is a bit far. So what I have to do, one choice is I just buy a car and drive. But to buy a car, the cost associated with the car, the cost of the car is not only the cost that I have to pay is not only the car, but it have the cost associated with the car. Owning a car is the maintenance cost, insurance, many things like gas, whatever, a lot, right? So for user, we change our mind also. We change our concept also. We don't really have to own it. We just use it on demand and we pay for it. Like we rent the asset for some service. So we change from the owning concept into just usage concept. Okay, we don't really have to own it before we use it. We just pay and use it on demand. We don't have to own it. Okay, that's the concept of sharing economy. And of course, I think we can share many things. And then sharing economy is become a big buzzword. I think maybe 5-6 years back, when the economists put on this image on the cover of on their magazine, right? In this case, you can they said what's mine is yours for a fee. So actually, what you can use many things, but you have to pay for the fee. Like for example, you can rent a room in this house for like $38 a night. You can use the pickup truck, $9 per hour. Like you can even rent a dog, right? For me also, I just came back from Phuket, right? I rent. I mean, if I want to go around Phuket, I need a car. Of course I don't want to buy a car just for that work. So I just use this sharing economies, and then try to rent a car from someone during that period, and then pay for them, pay for the usage. So that's an example of sharing economy. And then there's a report, okay, done by Deloitte in the US, and then they mentioned that this, so they try to calculate how much a particular one fictitious person might make in the sharing economy in the US. Suppose this person, his name is Bob. He's a 22 years old guy. He's a 22 years old aspiring architect from San Francisco. Of course, San Francisco is a cost of living quite high. So he's saving his money for his grad school. So luckily he owned a car, a Ford Focus, and then he lived in a studio apartment, and he's a good photographer, right? This report estimated he could make about $1,060 per week in the sharing economy. Okay, so let's see how this guy make money. So for example, he can make money via Instacart. So by picking up like some like 8 grocery order from from the supermarket like Whole Food or Costco, he can make about $16 per hour. Or he can use his car to do Lyft. Lyft is a competitor of Uber in the US, so he can make about $14 per hour. Like, or he can use his time to do TaskRabbit, right? So to do like some work for other people, and he's gonna make $15 per hour. Of course, keep in mind this is like the where he lives is San Francisco, so the cost of living there is quite high. So the wage is a bit higher also. So all in all, if you calculate, he make about $1,060 per week. So if you multiply this by 52, he's gonna make about $55,000 per week, per year. So in the U.S., the median U.S. wage worker make about 40,000, but for the average retail wage worker, like for those who work in, like, let's say Walmart, they make only like 22,000. So what they are saying is, if you have some skill, some asset, a little bit, so you can make a lot more than average people in the US. Okay, and actually a lot of people in the US, they earn money through this sharing economy. Sometimes we call it a freelance economy, because you don't really stick yourself with one particular company. You don't really work for a particular company. You just do it as a freelance. Like we call it like freelance economy, gigs economy, or sharing economy. Same thing. So a lot of US people do this kind of like sharing economies. But I mean, what's the disadvantage of this is, yeah, especially in the situation of the COVID, is one, like the one disadvantage is they don't really get the benefit, the work benefit from the company, because they don't belong to any company. So they don't get the benefit, the insurance, the like the social or 401k from the company at all. So that's the downside. But the plus side is they make more, and then they can control their own pace to work. Okay, so that's sharing economies, which is I think quite booming before the COVID. But right now, of course, it's because of the COVID situation. They got hit hard also. But I think after the COVID become normal, or pass, I think gig economy, or people will be more will come back and work in this kind of job. Okay, so this is almost 4. So let's stop here. Next week I will continue with this, and then with the presentation from student. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask me, or if not, you are free to leave. So I'll stay here and I hang here for a few more minutes. But for those, if you don't have any question, you are free to leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you ค่ะอาจารย์
Thank you ค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์ครับอธิบาย multi-sided platform ให้ฟังอีกทีได้ไหมครับ
ได้ก็คือ multi-sided platform ก็คือมันมี2ฝั่งครับมันมีฝั่งก็คือคุณอยู่ตรงกลางถูกไหมฮะคุณมีเป็นลูกค้าคุณทั้งคู่นะเพราะเป็นคนที่คุณจัดการทั้งคู่ก็คือฝั่งหนึ่งก็คือเหมือนคุณเป็น Google หรือคุณเป็น Facebook ดีกว่าง่ายดีคุณเป็น Facebook ก็คือหน้าที่คุณก็คือคุณพยายามสร้าง customer base ของ user หรือของลูกค้าเนี่ยที่ของ user แล้วกันที่ใช้บริการ service คุณ for free ถูกไหมอย่าง Facebook เขาก็มี service แล้วก็ goal ของเขาคือต้องการสร้าง customer base ให้ใหญ่ที่สุดเพื่อที่อะไรครับเพื่อที่จะไปขายโฆษณากับอีกฝั่งหนึ่ง
เป็นแพลตฟอร์มโฆษณาให้กับบริษัทต่างๆใช่ไหมครับ
เป็น
แพลตฟอร์มโฆษณา
เป็นแพลตฟอร์มก็เรียกว่าเป็นแพลตฟอร์มก็ได้หรือว่าเป็นที่ให้บริษัทอยากมาลงโฆษณาด้วย
โอเคครับ
คือเขาไม่ได้หาเงินกับลูกค้าเขาเองเขาหาเงินกับอีกฝั่งหนึ่ง
แต่เขาต้องการ customer base เพื่อที่จะสร้างความน่าเชื่อถือจากบริษัทโฆษณาใช่ไหมฮะ
ก็ไม่เชิงความน่าเชื่อถือ คือโดยเหมือนคุณโฆษณาเนี่ยถามว่าเดี๋ยวนี้โฆษณาเวลาเขาโฆษณาเขาคิดเรทตามอะไรครับเขาคิดค่าโฆษณาจากอะไรจากถ้าเรายกตัวอย่างเช่นทีวีแล้วกันทำไมโฆษณาช่องเลสเซช่อง3หรือช่อง7ทำไมโฆษณามันถึงแพงกว่าโฆษณาช่อง5หรือช่อง9หรือว่าช่อง NBT อย่างเงี้ยทำไมช่อง
customer base ครับ
เพราะคนมันเยอะกว่าเพราะ customer base มันเยอะกว่าแค่นั้นเองครับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยไอตัว multi site based platform เนี่ยโกของมันคือต้องการสร้าง customer base ให้ใหญ่เพื่อที่จะขายโฆษณาได้ราคาแพงกว่าเพราะว่าฝั่งนู้นมีโอกาสที่จะขายแบบว่า target โฆษณาเขาได้ดีกว่าแพลตฟอร์มที่มันเจ้าเล็กๆเจ้าที่มีคนน้อยๆครับผม
เกี่ยวกับโฆษณาอย่างเดียวเลยเหรอครับ
ส่วนใหญ่ multi site platform ก็โฆษณาเป็นหลักแล้วกันถ้าสมมุติถ้าพูดถึงเรื่องหาเงินนะก็คือพูดถึงเรื่องโฆษณาครับ
แล้วในสไลด์ที่มีโลโก้ Apple นี่มันยังไงฮะ
ก็เหมือนกันก็คือนอกจากโฆษณาแล้วจริงๆก็คือเป็นแบบเป็นในแง่ของการดึงคนเข้ามาด้วยอย่างเงี้ยครับก็เป็น multi site platform ได้เหมือนกันก็ยกตัวอย่างเช่นก็แอปอย่าง Apple ก็ยังไงก็คือแบบประมาณว่ามีนอกเหนือจากโฆษณาแล้วมีแพลตฟอร์มของนี้ด้วยครับแพลตฟอร์มของพวกแอปซอฟต์แวร์หรือแอปเนี่ยมีคนเยอะเราก็สามารถดึงคนที่เป็นอะไรเป็นเขาเรียกว่าเป็น developer มาเขียนแอปให้เราเยอะเพราะเรามีคนฝั่งนี้เยอะเหมือนกันก็คือเขาสามารถจัดการทั้ง2ฝ่ายได้ก็สามารถกินทั้งหัวคิวอย่างนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็น multi site based platform ได้ครับมีทั้งคือเขาเป็นApple เขามีตัวApp Store ถูกไหมครับจัดการฝั่งที่เป็น developer กับจัดการฝั่งที่เป็นอะไรฝั่งที่เป็นคนที่ดาวน์โหลดก็ได้อย่างนี้บางคนก็เรียกว่าเป็น multi site platform ได้ครับผมก็เลยใส่ไว้แต่ผมไม่ได้พูดเยอะเพราะว่าผมจะโฟกัสที่โฆษณาเพราะวันนี้พูดโฆษณาเยอะครับ
เข้าใจแล้วครับอาจารย์ขอบคุณครับ
ครับผมขอบคุณครับ
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
For the presentation,
yes.
How can I choose my subject? I mean, how can I know that it's not already taken or that someone didn't do it?
That's a good question. Actually, I don't mind.
Okay. Even if someone has already done it, because I wasn't here for the first and second class, so
it's totally okay. It's totally okay.
Okay. Can you just tell me if someone has already done it, so I can choose between web. I have already some subjects. Can you just tell me if someone has already done it?
Sure. I'll show you.
Okay.
So some people do on smartwatch. Okay.
Okay.
And then some people done on. Hold on. Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
No. Digital technologies and music industry. Okay.
Okay.
Some people do. What's this?
Collaboration.
Canva. Some applications. Today, Metaverse, right? LiDAR, DAO, Grab, and the Humanoid. So that's it. Last week is like this one.
All right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks.
No problem. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Thank you ครับ
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you.